Good day, ladies and gentlemen, your performance doctor here. No, I'm not going to tell you how to improve the performance. It's about graphic performance in the Warzone, because I finally found a video explaining the whole render worker count thing perfectly to me, and also going through every goddamn single setting. That is this amazing video from Elbow Performance that I'm going to link in the description below. And he really goes down on everything and explains to a detail what everything does. I could never do it this good with the average and everything. But the most important part is the part with the render worker count. And that's what I want to go through with you, because I have a 12-core CPU. I have a 5900X. And obviously the render worker count is set to 12. But there's so much more you can do to improve your FPS. And I've been like on Rebirth Island up to 300 plus FPS, mostly 220 to 250. And Verdansk is also way better than it has always been. Obviously, it helps to set your settings like this. You can make a screenshot for yourself and just go back and forth in the video to check this. There's all a reason for it. You can check the reasons in the video below. But all of this is the optimal FPS to look settings too, together with the ones down here. Very important to set them that way. And keep in mind, I have a graphic card with an insane VRAM. I have a 6900 XT in here, which is just balling out. And we're talking also about 2K resolution, not 1080p, 2K resolution. That is kind of what I have everything set to. Obviously no DLSS, because I don't have DLSS in my system. Also, ray tracing does work on my graphic card. So I might be trying out ray tracing just for the YOLOs to see if I can even dibble dabble a little bit more with that. But this is my settings. But now let's talk about the render worker count. If you go into your documents, Call of Duty Modern Warfare players, and then the advanced options ini, people always talk about this to increase your performance in Warzone and everything to make it better. And the render worker count is usually set, or supposed to be set, to actually the amount of physical cores you have, which in my case is 12. 12 cores would be in my 5900 12-core processor, but it's not what it has to be at, because the most important part is that you got to look at your CPU utilization. So the render worker count, due to contrary belief, does actually not show how many cores your CPU is using for Warzone. It's more like how he stresses them. So what you're looking for is, do you have any of your cores, of your 12 cores, that's being maxed to 100% constantly? Because then your render worker count is not working the way it should. Let me show that to you by setting my render worker count to 12, joining into a game, and then again swapping it down to kind of let you feel how the difference is. Now this is my Warzone running in the background with all what's going on the cores. And you can see that one of the final cores is quite going up there, but all in all, it's good because my CPU is just a monster. But there's still optimization to be made. So by lowering the CPU cores now, we can find the sweet spot where the utilization between the graphic card and the CPU is happening. That is really well explained also in the video that we linked in the description below. What I essentially did is I lowered my worker count to 11, check, 10, check, 9, check, 8. And it turns out that with an 8 worker count, the performance just feels way better. As you can see here, we're running around with what, kind of like 180, 160, 170 FPS. And with the render worker count lower, we at least get 20, 30 plus FPS partially in certain situations. It doesn't mean that we don't go down every now and then in FPS. You do that too. But right now we have a low of 144 here sometimes. And now if we're lowering the render work count to 8, and now if we're looking at the FPS after we did our little improvements, it's overall just higher. I'm not saying that this is my perfect render work count yet, because I think maybe 9 could be in the long run better. I gotta run more intensive tests. But I played yesterday all day long with render work count 8, and my game has never been this smooth and this well running, with also low frame render timings, which is important. My drops don't go below like 170, tops I think 160. So all in all, it's just more than it has been before. And that by simple change, like by literally just putting that number down and experimenting a little bit around. And the explanation that I really got from Elbow Performance, that was just perfect. It helped so much to play around with this. So don't give up yet on your system. Don't think the game is terribly optimized. Don't just look at your RAM. This can make a huge difference. Obviously, try to set your settings low too. Try the settings I did there, because my game still looks absolutely fantastic. I mean, you don't see any difference to like having anything on high. It's just great, good performance settings to enhance everything throughout the Warzone. And on Rebirth, I mean, like I get up to 300 on 1440p. Yes, it's stupid that we have to jump through these hoops and loops to get this done. Yes, it shouldn't be. There should have not been so many things to do to in any way remotely remarkably get a great performance. But it is what it is. Having great RAM timings helps. I have 3600 Hertz RAM with a CL timing of 14, with a 5900 ACN of 6900, with a 6900 ACN of 5900X. But even with that hardware, if I did not do these adjustments, my game is running not that well. Not as good as I would expect from my killer hardware. And that is where you really have to experiment, try around, do these settings. Don't just lie down and be like, man, game's shitty optimized. You want to play Warzone, sadly, as a PC player, you get to take efforts into your own hands. That's why I'm saying if you want to play relaxed and stress-free, get a freaking console. Even if you plug mouse and keyboard into it. Yes, you don't have a field of view slider, but you get FPS, easy, no struggle. You don't have to do anything. You press the play button and you're done. After every single update, you have to jump through hoops and loops again. You might have to delete the advanced options in it to come back or not. So many people struggling, they have absolute high-end systems and the FPS is not there. And PCs just have so many tiny things. And my PC is by far not perfectly set up yet. There's probably so much more to do to even get more out. I'm pretty sure I could get like 20, 30 FPS more with more settings, with being smarter, with changing some things in the Windows level system for AMD to work even better, to play around with AMD settings in general. But I hope this helps you. I hope this explanation gives you better performance. Check out the video that we linked in the description below that inspired this. It helped me so much. I wish you a fantastic good day. Thanks for being here. Thanks for watching this. And thanks for giving me time to hopefully help you with the FPS. And drop in the description below if this actually helped you and if this improved your FPS.